Debbie, I'm glad I caught hold of you. Can you spare a couple of minutes?
Yes, I'm not teaching for the next hour, so I've got plenty of time. Well, apart from these. How can I help you?
Well, I've got this new promotion in the Midlands.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm the new IT coordinator.
Hey, that's great. I'm really pleased for you. Hey, what IT policy do they have there then?
That's what I need to talk to you about. They don't have any. See, the thing is, I've got to evaluate the options, I've got to make the recommendations, and from the wide choice of machines that are available in this day and age, I've got to weigh up the PC, the Acorn, and the Macintosh. And at the moment, I don't have the expertise. Can you help?
Well, I can understand that. We've just been through the entire evaluation process, and as IT coordinator, I've had to make a reasoned argument for our choice. Look, there is a wide variety, but if you're talking about education, I've come to the conclusion that there really is only one choice.
You mean the Acorn? Well, actually, what happened in the Midlands, they did use the Acorn in the past. Now, again, having thought about it, Acorn was in the beginning of the computer revolution in the schools anyway.
So what is it that's bothering you?
Basically, you see, a lot of people are pushing this industry standard. And having thought about it, it does have a lot of credibility about it, you know?
I thought Acorn was education's industry standard.
Yes, it is. But because people in the industry and commerce, they feel because they use the DOS system, they feel the education system should use the same.
The computer world will have moved on by the time most children leave school. I mean, just think how computers have changed in the last 5 years. And for instance, what would have happened by the time your daughter leaves school? And in any case, isn't it the educational concept that's the important thing?
I think you're right there. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that people who've been making this argument have not actually considered the Acorn option at all.
The Acorn world and education generally are different from industry. But for education, that must be a good thing. Acorn has its roots in education. That is where its strength lies. Acorn should know what they're doing, after all their experience in this market, which is more than can be said for most of the other contenders. 90% of children use Acorn machines in school, because Acorn has been on the scene in education longer than most other companies. When computers were first introduced into schools, the Acorn BBC Micro was the most popular choice. That heritage continues today in the new, more powerful machines. The number of schools without some Acorn machines is almost negligible. The number of those with the new RISC-based machines is growing day by day and represents the largest proportion of new machines sold into schools. There is more educational software created specifically for the British education system on the Acorn family of machines than for any other platform. If you look at the sort of software that is being used in education, you'll find that very little of it is the old drill and practice stuff, which is still widely used in other countries. Teachers have realised that exciting things can be done with a powerful computer, and so the types of activity tend to be based around creative productivity, desktop publishing, word processing, graphics and music, or powerful information handling, databases and spreadsheets, or around the growing area of multimedia, where graphics, sound and information can be brought together to produce lively simulations for teaching purposes. The power to combine elements to produce a complete presentation is built into every Acorn system. Software publishers provide the means to achieve that objective. CD-ROM and full-motion video are rapidly becoming a standard part of software specification, and Acorn and its software colleagues are leading the field with this realization of future technology today. The community of publishers of software for Acorn's machines is not only well versed in the educational context, they are committed to providing a developing and expanding base of software to suit the growing needs of education. Professionals too are catered for in the software community. High specification software tools which perform to exacting tolerances are now widely used by a range of professionals who need the capability of Acorn to provide a unique solution to the problems that they must tackle as part of their work. The legacy of simple, yet powerful applications for education has carried through to the professional market, where intuitive software provides users with the means to get to grips with their tasks as quickly as possible. Acorn's family of machines is supported by a community of software houses dedicated to education. No other hardware manufacturer has that. Also, the Acorn RISC computer is so powerful that complex facilities that require huge memory and power on other machines will even run on the basic machines. A good example of that is real-time video, displayed on screen using Acorn Replay, which can even run on the old A3000. The software publishers are now building that facility into their programs, so that as video clips become available, users will be able to exploit them.
Well, another problem I have is that they need network solutions. There are companies which provide machines, network and software. Can Acorn provide that?
Well, yes, of course they can, because the Acorn Universal Network now allows you to interconnect all the Acorn range using both Ethernet and Ethernet.
Where you have existing cabling for the older machines, that can be bridged onto your newer and faster Ethernet system. Of course, because you have an Ethernet standard, it means that direct links can be made to other types of computer as well. Acorn can also provide cluster networks based on the SCSI standard, and their designated education dealers have been trained to install and maintain networks, and to provide consultancy to establishments that need help in specifying their system.
And I really need to keep my PC friends happy with something which will run their programs as well.
So far I think we're meeting all your needs. As for the last one, well, that's easy, because Acorn has its own PC emulator which can run MS-DOS programs very happily.
Other companies seem to offer comprehensive support for their machines in school. What about Acorn?
Have you ever been to an Acorn Roadshow? Oh, you'll really see the Acorn community in action there.
The Acorn community is a good deal more than just a group of software developers and publishers. The collaboration between Acorn and the people with ideas which exploit the power of their computers has led us to the situation where we now have the best educational software in the world. What other computer manufacturer do you know that could persuade some of its major software providers to get on a bus for a whole week, set up and break down an exhibition every day in locations all over the country, talk to hundreds of people who attend during the week, travel hundreds of miles after a long day's work, and still manage to smile? These events happen 2 or 3 times a year, in addition to all the other Acorn events that are happening somewhere in the country nearly every day. And they reflect the commitment that Acorn and the software publishers have to each other and to their customers.
It's not just the software, it's the whole issue of integrating computers in the curriculum, which is very complex. And obviously the support of the local authority centres is disappearing very fast.
Well, Acorn recognises that and has set up a whole network of Acorn education centres which are intended to give support to educational users like us.
These centres aren't just a collection of machines and a fancy banner, but are based around existing local authority centres where proven expertise in supporting Acorn machines in an educational context has led to an agreement between Acorn and the LEAs to provide a centre of excellence which all teachers can draw on. So at one of these centres you can view software, learn about the machines, or talk to staff about the curricular issues. Special needs applications have always been important with Acorn. Special needs centres such as the Northwest SEMERC provide training, software support and resources specifically designed for special needs educational use. There is a wide range of special needs applications, and access to much of the software is available for people with particular physical or mental limitations. The Acorn community doesn't stop there either. There is a network of accredited education dealers where school purchasers can be sure to get sensible answers to questions about the use of Acorn's machines in the classroom. These places help the users with the nuts and bolts of the system, such as appropriate communications, peripherals and networks. There are also Acorn training centres, where courses are run in the use of software, development of skills, and practical issues such as network maintenance. Or you can go to one of the major training conferences, such as Access IT, which is held every year. At those courses, which are sold out every time, you spend 2 days immersed in the topics you want to address. Dozens of computers are available for you to get your hands on, and the publishers of the software are there to help you understand how to get the best out of their products. It's not a hard sell situation either. You'll not find that very much in the Acorn community. In fact, Because the publishers tend to develop educational products in conjunction with real teachers and pupils, you will find that they listen to their customers and use their experience to help develop more relevant products.
Yes, I can see all that. But do Acorn do anything else except produce computers for education?
It really depends what you mean by producing computers.
There are plenty of companies in this country who simply produce computers. The difference with Acorn is that they have a commitment to designing the best. That has meant being different, not locked into an existing and inflexible standard, as its competitors are. Acorn has a large and dynamic research and development department, which has been responsible for the innovation of the last decade in the company. One of the big advantages of that is that they are able to recognise and respond to the needs of their customers. The Acorn machines have evolved partly in response to the needs expressed by the education community. This ability to respond to the needs of the market explains Acorn's leadership in ideas. And those are not simply limited to the educational marketplace. Don't forget that Apple and VLSI, the major computer processor manufacturer, were sufficiently impressed with Acorn's technical achievements to set up ARM Limited, which will pioneer technology for a whole new range of computer-controlled devices. Acorn are the only British manufacturer of RISC-based computers, as well as being the leading suppliers of computers to education. Acorn also supplies machines widely in Australia, New Zealand and Canada, and is opening up growing markets in Europe. All that is in addition to a huge following of home users who have flocked to events like the Acorn User Show in their thousands. Acorn is changing rapidly. They are opening up new partnerships with major companies like Scion, Apple, Kodak and VLSI, who recognise the potential of Acorn's unique technology and their commitment to designing the best. They are broadening the appeal of their products. You'll see Acorn machines in Dixon's, Curry's and John Lewis now, as well as the normal dealer outlets. In this way, they are strengthening the links between home and school, in order to make the machine that is industry standard in school be the byword at home as well. And don't forget, Acorn won the Queen's Award for Industry in 1992. That's the second time that they have won it, and you don't get that for nothing. With Acorn, you're buying a gateway to the future.